So the War of the Realms was the big crossover event for the year for Marvel. It was not the best thing in the world, and it has some cringy moments that I'll go over here in a little bit. But all things considered, it ended as well as it could as far as the overall theme. For a quick rundown I guess for those that have been sort of under a rock, Malekith has basically taken control over all the realms, and Midgard is the last to fall. So let's get into it. Issue 6 of the War of the Realms, and of course the finale. Okay, so I have a lot of commentary on this, so I'm going to try to speed through it a little bit. Last issue, Thor is at wit's end, and Thor has Daredevil nail him to the world tree that's rooted in the sun so he can get these answers as to how to win this war. He offers his eye, which he does end up losing, but he has to sacrifice the last chunk of the hammer in order to get the answers that he actually wants. We then move into the future, where we see that Thor is All-Father, and you see that Reed and the Thing, they are going to basically bring him from the future into the present. Basically what is happening is that they're gathering a bunch of Thors. So you have unworthy past Thor, current Thor, and future Thor. But then, as alluded to at the end of the last issue, look who shows up as well. Jane Foster. Jason Aaron is going to ride this idiotic idea out until the wheels fall off. This character should have been dead, and I'm sick of this shit. It's like he's trolling me at this point because he's quadrupling down on her being Thor, though that isn't her name. Nonetheless, you see right here, you get 3 Thors and tokenized great value Thor flying into battle. Back in New York here, we have the heroes that are fighting Laufey, who eats the casket of ancient winters, which gives him more power. He's about to go toe-to-toe with Daredevil, who remembers is basically Heimdall right now, back to the Stonehenge, where Malekith has Thor's parents, and he's waiting on Thor to arrive so he can kill him in front of them. They do end up showing up, and they show up with fake Thor, as you can see over here as well. 3 Thors, fake Thor. Remember also Malekith has the symbiote that you know is responsible for Venom, which he then uses to become more powerful. And over here, Laufey is fighting Daredevil. Thor's current hammer ends up getting jacked actually by Malekith. And of course, he's about to strike him with it, and tokenized Thor has to save him down here. So everybody is continuing this massive fight. This is where the one good thing begins to take place, the combination of the storm. You got fire, ice, lightning. This was all part of Thor's plan. What he was doing was forging what will turn out to be a brand new Mjolnir, which of course was destroyed a while back. Remind you that Thor is not worthy. I'm using quotes, you can't see me, but this of course creates all sorts of continuity issues because, in my opinion, it seems to erase all of this nonsense with She-Thor and others. That's because it solidifies the simple fact that the power is in Thor. That's his power. And as he says here, in that case, I guess he's the god of the unworthy. That's really solidifying the fact that if I have to be worthy to wield this power, I'm just the god of the unworthy because the power is in me. Of course, fake Thor has to butt in what should be a very magical moment by saying that the hammer doesn't make Thor, the Thor makes the hammer. No shit. This is why you shouldn't even be around, but thank God fake Thor's War Thor hammer is about to basically bounce, and they end up throwing it at Laufey. Seemingly unrelated though, Loki, he cuts himself out of the stomach of Laufey, or more, explodes out. Remember, yes, his own dad ate him at the beginning of the War of the Realms. Back over here, we have on Animal Army starting to attack him. He's done, basically. Over here, we have fake Thor turning back into Jane Foster. We also have it confirmed that Laufey just killed his father when he cut himself out of his stomach. And then we end this issue with the realms basically being revitalized and Heimdall back on his Rainbow Bridge stuff. And this is where things get a little epic, and Thor is now All-Father of Asgard with the blessing, of course, of OG Odin. And that's how we end the War of the Realms. this ended decently, but it does make you a little sour that Jason Aaron, the writer that is not going to let this Jane Foster thing go, and it almost ruins everything. It's very close. For those that don't know, believe it or not, she's now about to even become Valkyrie. And I'm guessing she's still technically the All-Mother of Asgard, even though she's not a goddamn Asgardian. Aside from just a lousy Jane Foster, this was also a mess of a release. The Agents of Atlas, to me, is really the only side story that's good as far as the tie-ins, but considering that some of these events take place before and after other events, it's confusing because the release calendar did not release these in really chronological order. So I'd advise leaving most of the tie-ins aside from Agents of Atlas if you want some of those introductions to those original characters, and you can just stick to issue 1 through 6 of the War of the Realms. As the symbiote alludes to, Carnage is yet another crossover event that seems to about to happen a little later on in the year, and Marvel really does need to slow down with these crossovers when they have all of these lousy ass books that are out right now, many of which need to get axed. But that's it as far as the War of the Realms. If you're ready, let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, homies, y'all be easy.